in fine line astern in 2 rows. And you know what, Nick?
They've proven me wrong.
They're going to be racing indeed. Everybody into and out of oblivion and into the right-hander of Cook. There's lots of comings together.
A lot of karts.
Yeah,
a lot of coming together.
Lots of comings together. And that's held up the karts from 5th
break.
down over.
Superb break in the lead, though. Is that Smith in the lead in the yellow and blue?
It will be, if it's yellow and blue.
Yep, 215. Smith's broken away. He absolutely broke the field in those first few corners. I think it is Fabregas in second, so it's not because there's been a shuffle of order behind him. It's just that he's managed to get a clear leap.
I think the shuffle of order came from 4th place down. So we'll see if Tomilewski, and it's the Battenberg. So we've got the
red flag.
It's a red flag. So we have had incidents somewhere out on the track, out of view of our cameras. We'll be bringing the karts to a halt on the start-finish straight. There's our clerk of the course, Dan Ashton, with the body warmer on, giving the thumbs up to our drivers who have done exactly what they should have done. So the field of junior Rotax drivers comes to a halt, and we'll be getting things underway as soon as we've sorted out and made the track safe, made sure the safety of all of our competitors is sorted.
Yeah, there was an incident on the exit. You saw a lot of karts going through. There's an exit of Oblivion onto through Crook. 3 karts have gone off the track, but from what we can see, all 3 drivers are up and fine.
All right.
But the karts are a bit entangled with each other.
All right.
And therefore, I think it's the removal that's caused the red flag rather than actually someone being, from what we can see, than someone actually being hurt. And then there's another. So there's actually 4 karts in total who are involved in the incident. And hopefully, I think it's most certainly, actually, I don't think that anyone's particularly been hurt, which is good news, but I think there's been some wallets that have been damaged, which is quite serious in many ways.
Yeah, the KKS part shop here at Whilton Mill will be delighted.
Well, there's a queue outside, yes, there wasn't there?
There was, yeah, there was.
So we've got. We're not going to cut it up because it's an accident. We have eyes on what's been going on. They're clearing up the first half of it. I think absolutely it was the right decision to red flag. I don't think the Battenberg flag would have held them because they'd had to be on it for a while.
Well, we're going to be in a championship like the Kart Championship, in a series like the Kart Championship, which is a junior kart series. Then we're always going to be, the discretion will always be the better part of valour with decisions like red flags and bringing the race to a halt for the track to be made safe. We are dealing with children here, basically under 16.
Now, I assume there'll be a complete restart now from grid positions.
Well, we didn't complete 1 lap, so it will be a completely re-grid of the starting grid with Alison Smith, Oliver Fabregas, Kasper Tomilewski, Marcel Popperkuhl, Logan House, Ewan House, onwards and onwards.
That's a good view of a car. Look at that. And you can get to see all the things you have to buy for it, including the very expensive data logger.
The expensive data logger, the expensive exhaust,
expensive tyres.
There are exhausts and there are exhausts. It's
exhausting.
There is no such thing as cheap motorsport. It's all relative, of course.
What whether your relative will pay for it?
Even better when that happens. There's the rear bumper, which these days is made of plastic, and you can see that there is, it's not meant to be a contact sport. It's an inadvertent contact sport at times.
That's Sam Green Gomez's 277.
Great view there. No gears, of course, on a Rotax Max kart. No brakes on the front axle either, just rear axle braking on these karts. And it is entry-level motorsport, and this is certainly entry-level national karting in the Kart Championship. We are delighted at Karting Live TV to be asked to be part of it, and the way that the series, what we've seen so far, and the way that the series goes about things, it's going to be a very exciting season ahead of us. I'm already looking forward to visiting North Wales, the Glenengores track, with all of our competitors, and then my home track up at Warden Law at the end of April.
You love that. Just you can say, "Oh, I'm home." When I'm on my 4-hour journey back.
Yeah, well, you get your own back today. Yes, you get your own back today.
We haven't got to go. You could always stop off, Frampton.
Yeah, I've got to be back to Jackson's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, of course, yes. on a plane, mate.
So we. So do you know more about the Winter Series than what we are letting on the calendar?
No, I don't know. I just know the options.
All right. So the options are Lincolnshire.
Yes.
So they are the obvious options.
Yes.
I'm going to leave that as venue to be confirmed.
No, it is to be confirmed. That is the point. But,
that's the weekend of the 7th
there is a
and 8th of
first
December.
choice, which is in Lincolnshire,
Yeah.
and a backup choice, which is in Lincolnshire.
I see.
If the first choice can't find the date they want.
Right, okay.
But you won't be there anyway, because you're going to be in Q8.
I will, yes. I'll be dealing with cars, won't I?
Unless, of course, they change the date of Q8, we can both go.
That'd be even better. We'll start working on it. So drivers still out of the karts, as you can see. And we will be getting towards this restart, which will be a full restart. And we may get a reduced number of minutes to consider. But that's a decision of the clerk of the course. We're already, the clock is ticking by, as you can see on the screen, but that's not an official time, of course. Have I got time for a pit stop?
No. Oh, he's gone anyway. What can you say? Adam Crossfire says the 288 kart was pushed off the grid. I can't see the 288 kart at all, actually, which means it may well not have taken the initial start, which means it probably had a problem. They're trying to sort it out and get it ready for the regrid. I can see that one of the drivers involved in the kerfuffle has come back with just his front bumper, which fell off. It's quite a long clean-up. I did think this was just for kart damage. Normally when it's this long, they're also slightly concerned about one of the karters. Certainly I saw 4 people standing up. Lady Bulls, where you can see results of the previous race. Yes, Alpha Timing have them. So you go to Alpha Timing, they'll be there. Looks like we are now getting the gentlemen, go back and start your engines call. So they are getting back to the machine slowly. Looks like there's just a case of the clear up seems to have taken a lot of time. So the marshal now looking around. So I think they got back both the 4 karts who fell off. They didn't fall off. They were helped off by each other, to be honest. It wasn't like, I've fallen off. But we did see it look very, very busy going through Oblivion and the Crook on that first lap. But then you got 34 very, very fast junior Rotax karts. Obviously the fastest kart of the day with the oldest of the competitors, up to 16. No one over 16 in this championship, which is going to be quite a big change for when we do our next championship. Then our next race is this next round of the Kart Championship, and then of course we're going to go to the completely non-competitive, really, NKC, which is virtually all people above 16.
Yes. We're regridding, I see.
Yeah. That might take some time, actually.
Yeah, while we do that, just to remind everybody what the difference in classes are, we've got the Junior Rotax Max karts on the grid at the moment, just waiting to get going with their final. And we've got, coming next is the Bambino final. The C50 Bambinos will be heading out for theirs. Then we've got the Honda Cadets, and then the Junior Primos, which is basically exactly the same karts as what we see now. It's just a younger age group which comply with Junior Rotax. That's what we're seeing.
Taking them a little time to get everything into order. There's quite a lot of reshuffling.
Yeah, it's going to take a little while, isn't it, Nick? Because we completely do a restart.
I think what I've learned, because Paul showed me his phone. I think what I've learned from my now 3-year involvement or 4-year involvement in karting is if you see a timetable that seems to suggest a reasonably early finish of the day, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Forget it.
There'll be a delay, or there'll be something else, and it'll drift. And this one's drifting by about an hour, I would say, at the end.
I have. Yeah, we had that software glitch that delayed our restart after lunch, didn't we? Mm. But we'll soon be getting on with things, Nick. And we'll... I take it you've mentioned what else is coming on Karting Live TV as we get through the year.
Well, a little bit of a chat about the NKC, which starts in April. The NKC is now really concentrating down to 4 classes. They've got a massive entry in Rotax 177, a massive entry in Senior Rotax, a very good entry in Junior Rotax, I think over 60, and then they've got 28 TKMs. So there's actually no under 60. Well, there's obviously Junior Rotax, but there's no. So all the classes you see here, apart from this one, are. Hence, I say the 2 series really have virtually no overlap whatsoever. But so you get to see a lot of adults racing, and obviously the full power Rotax. Of course, Junior Rotax are restricted from the Senior Rotax. Try and keep people safe.
So the all the Rotax classes, from Micromax through to Senior Rotax, none of which you will see any Senior Rotax here, but all of the Rotax classes here in the Kart Championship, all the same engine, all the same, the 125cc Rotax motor. The differences that you will see, we've already had the Micromax final. That's a heavily restricted 125 FR 125 engine from Rotax, and then the Intermax class that we've just seen there, their final completed. That's a little less restricted, but still heavily restricted. And then Junior Max, which we're seeing now out on the track now, just being readied and regridded. That's a slightly less restricted, but restricted. And then the Senior Max, basically exactly the same engine. You can take all the way from the cadet classes all the way through to seniors. Is fundamentally the same engine, just the Senior Max category having no restriction, and you can get as much air and fuel mixture into that engine as you can. However, Junior Max, slight restrictions to give the karts a little bit less power. Fast enough though, with speeds towards 70 miles an hour going into the first turn here. 75 miles an hour I think is what we've seen clocked before. And that's certainly towards, and when you consider, Nick, that the track here at Whilton Mill into Oblivion, this left-hand sweep, and then into the right-hander at Crook, that's, you're turning in at 70 miles an hour and just scrubbing a little bit of speed.
Never be that quick again.
It'll never be that quick again. So we're seeing a bit of history. That was where I was coming to.
Oh, was it? Okay, I didn't know that.
No. We're never going to see that again, as we are changing the profile of the final turn here. The pits bend just underneath Ash's camera is going to become a chicane. So you come out of the boot. The boot is going to be tightened into a tighter hairpin, coming round a few more degrees, and then into a left-right chicane that comes out onto the start-finish. So we're going to be coming onto the start-finish straight a lot less quickly. Still going to be relatively quickly, but a lot less quickly, and hence the speed carried into turns 1 and 2, Oblivion and Crook here, will also be reduced as a matter of consequence. So all-round safety being the optimum word as to the reasoning why, just to keep speeds down and less incidents through the less flat-out sections of track.
Yeah, I think it's a
sensible,
I think a little bit overdue
approach. Because didn't you break a rib?
I broke my rib.
Yeah, we can tell you. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I did.
Can you talk about that?
I did my ARCS test back in 2000 or 2001, and on the same day, and I think it wasn't actually during the test. I think it was passed the test.
Don't spoil the story.
No, but I think
it was during your ARCS test.
It was during my ARCS test day.
It was during your ARCS test. You went off there across the curb and hurt your ribs.
And I didn't hurt it. I broke a rib. I didn't have a rib protector.
You didn't hit the barrier though, did you?
No, it was just the sheer bouncing with the seat that didn't fit properly.
And you didn't wear a rib protector?
No. No one wore rib protectors in 2000.
They didn't actually. That's quite a new thing. But I tell you what, you can't race these things without a rib protector. I think that's maybe the tyre technology has gone better, because the grip that you get from these Rotax Max karts are phenomenal. If you haven't driven a Rotax Max kart, honestly, you would have to drive something like, I don't know, Formula 3 or even a Formula 2 car to get the same sort of feeling and power to weight ratio. I mean, that's why Formula 1 drivers and the like will, in the off-season, go off karting somewhere. Alonso has done it forever. Carlos Sainz does it. Lando Norris does. In fact, he's no stranger to this place, Lando Norris, is he? This is where he practices in the off-season. Great way to keeping race fit.
I think they go to Dubai, actually.
Yes, that's very true.
I think you'll find that the budgets have significantly increased for Lando Norris practice.
Yeah, I think that's true. We've got the grid formed up. The drivers are back in their karts. Dan Ashton there at the front with the yellow ear warmers, as he likes to keep his ears warm, does Dan, with those fluffy yellow ear warmers he has. He's become his own, really. His own signature ear warmers, in fact.
It's become his own best friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And on a cold day like this, they're absolutely a necessity. He's just waiting, talking to race control, I think, via his radio, just making sure that everything's sorted. The track is ready to go. We have got no official word on how much time is going to be given to this.
They're going to run the full 10 minutes.
I think they are. Yes, I think they are. No. So they've been given the wave off. So they fire up. Dan gives them the way. Is he saying 2 laps or 1 lap?
1, he's saying, I think.
He's holding one finger up, which indicates to me that he wants 1 lap. So he wants them ready to get going, and it is the 10 minutes and 1 lap.
A question for you from Soylent Green. Do top karters do neck exercises?
Yes.
There we are. That's a quite quick answer.
Yes, and even children of this age will do neck exercises, because even I know kids who are doing micromax who are training their necks.
Wow.
Because it's the first thing that goes. You're carrying a helmet, and helmets are nothing like when you and I were racing, Nick. They are light, however, they're still putting something on your head. It's still heavier than your head. Mm-hmm. And then put that through a G-force of cornering that these karts can manage. And your head is the first thing that feels like it wants to come off. So yes, you'll see the fitness being shown. An indicator of that fitness is how floppy the neck is. And you don't really see that because even your kids, we heard Eddie Stewart there, he says who trains and plays rugby and has to train to be fit enough to complete a 10-minute and 1 lap final. Here we go.
Okay.
Addison Smith and Oliver Fabricus, they're up front row of the grid. We'll see if because what that incident did was it split the top 4, didn't it, before the red flag came out. It's a fresh start though, Nick.
Here we go.
We're about to get going. Off to oblivion.
Very clean start, should be okay. They have jumped out of line, but we know they can do it once the lights change. And it is the go, and they sweep round. Addison Smith takes the lead from Fabricas, but my feeling is it's there. We haven't got the big gap we had last time, and they're all through, and there's no accidents behind them, which is great news. Great
move into 4th there. Couldn't quite see the number there, but it's a yellow and blue kart. Great move.
15, 20, 20, we'll get the rear view of it. We would do.
That's Tomilewski, the reigning champion, up into 2nd on the tail of Addison Smith. He had a bit of a nightmare in the first of the superheats, so he started on the 2nd row. However, he's right on the bumper of the leader.
I think Ben Horner picked up. It was the kart you were talking about picking up 4th place, Joe, in the 272. I'll stand to be corrected if I'm wrong in about 2 seconds time. I think that was Horner picking up 3 spots. It is. He's in 4th place.
I think we're going to see some action in 3rd.
Oh, trying to go 3rd, 4th, but it's Logan Howes who's holding him back. Smith leading Tomaszewski. And up.
There's a change for 4th.
No, there's not. There's a potential change for 4th. Didn't happen. It was an attempt by Fabricas, who started from the pole and has dropped to 5th. Sorry, from front row and has dropped to 5th. But they're the leaders, nailed together. Smith and Tomaszewski. And they've broken away from the next gaggle of 4, which I think may have been Ben Horn there, just trying to get up to 3rd. Not sure. Oh, look at that one. Straight up the inside. Is he going to make it work? Will it work all the way around? And yes, it does. He just does. I don't quite know where this drive comes from.
That was momentum out of Chapman along the back straight there. He had momentum out of Chapman. You can easily lose momentum, and Addison Smith fires out along the back straight, and then Tomaszewski, he had the momentum before they got to the braking area. He was alongside, so when it came to the braking area, he was able to let the kart just breathe across to the right-hand side into the boot as well. So Tomaszewski leads. Addison Smith not over yet, though, is it? Because Addison Smith is hanging on to that rear bumper of Tomaszewski. Casper off into the lead where he wants to be. Is he going to start 2024 the way he finished 2023, i.e. at the front of this junior Rotax field? All remains to be seen.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, it's the fact was in the first lap, he didn't really gap Smith by very much, but you think if you've got a couple of tenths theoretically, it's likely that the advantage would be you can go from following rather than leading. It may mean he'll have a big problem dropping Smith. I mean, actually, 3rd place Ben Horn has got himself into a sort of no man's land. He's a 2nd behind the first 2 and a 2nd ahead of 4th, 5th and 6th. So is he going to come back towards our top 3, or is he going to top 2 or drop from me?
Well, if these two start squabbling, which Addison Smith seems to be happy just following in the rail tracks of Casper Tomaszewski, so he's going to be following him round now. If he starts poking his nose, they'll start tripping over one another, and Ben Horner will come towards them.
Yeah.
So plenty of time now. We've gone 3 minutes already. Would you believe? 3 minutes. Let's have a rundown of the top 10 as they cross the line, Nick. Tomileski leads 3/10 now. The gap. A further just over a second to Ben Horner in third. Harry Hurst-Grover, great move from Harry Hurst-Grover, who came up the field from 14th place. He's taken 10 spots and he's in 4th place. Keep an eye on the number 2 cart out the corner of your eye, Nick, because he could move into contention and start pushing towards Ben Horner. Lewis Sumner 5th, Marcel Poppercull 6th, James Kell 7th. 8th is Andrew Dixon. Charlie Very for SD is up to 9th, and then Braith Murdoch rounding off that top 10.
Terrible lap there for front row starter Oliver Fabricas. He had it coming together with another cart and has dropped back down to 14th with a miss. So these first two, and then we got a bit of a gap. Can we just run them through the next camera? And so let's put the first two, and there's third place, which is Horner. So Harry Hurst-Grover is on the move. That's his 4th place. Then you've got 5th and 6th, Sumner and Poppercull, and then 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. A little bit closer. We put them back up, coming back towards Frank. And that's the battle now, which I think is it 4th onwards?
Yeah, it is. So Harry Hurst-Grover is the driver. I said just come up from 14th. He's now in 4th. And he's bringing along with him Lewis Sumner, Marcel Poppercull and Andrew Dixon, as well as pretty much the whole field, actually.
A big elastic band. These three, they're nailed together, aren't they? Now
they are. He's moved through the field to get to that 4th place, but he's bringing the drivers he's just overtaken with him into the boot. Then we're getting towards half distance now, Nick.
Hurst-Grover put a little bit. I assume that the cart behind him is his teammate because they've got a very similar livery system, and that is Lewis Sumner. Poppercull from Dixon from Kell. At the front is 4/10 now from Tomileski to Smith. A second more to Horner, and then Horner's got 3 seconds over this gaggle here, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is for points, because this is the best they can finish is 4th, because you will not put them on the podium. They won't get to jump up and down with it, waving their hands to the photographer, but it is points, and points is what makes the season go round, and if you can get a reasonable start, you've got 4 rounds to put in a couple of better results and keep going moving forward.
I think we've just had Andrew Dixon down the inside of Marcel Poppercull. We'll check that as they cross the line. It will be a move for 6th place from Dixon, moving up from 7th. There's Hurst-Grover crossing the line, Lewis Sumner. Andrew Dixon confirmed in 6th, James Kell in 7th. So Poppercull losing 2 places that lap.
Yeah, we've seen that quite a lot.
In 8th.
We've seen that quite a lot. Someone gets slightly moved out of the way to lose 1 place, especially around the boot, and the second one just goes automatically because they've got a very opportunistic young carter going, I'll have that space, thank you very much.
And that's what it's all about when you're in a sort of racing line astern in a pack. You're waiting for that opportunity to improve. You're looking in front of the cart ahead of you, looking at the space. And I tell you what, Lewis Sumner, I'd say that was a threatening place to be.
He's thinking about it.
Yeah. And again, these two, same livery carts. I'm just going to check to see which team they're down to be running with.
Grover. The only person not running a 200 number, because he actually has 2 because he was second in the championship last year. No one else has decided to run their championship number position, but it's the person running the 200 numbers just for the ease of identifying across the various carts of very similar look when you get to micro, mini and juniors and everything else. So they've just put the carts with different numbers to, much like Creventic do, different classes have different starting numbers. Makes it a bit easier, even though they're not on the same track at the same time. Now, interestingly, the 5th place man, but 3rd in this group. So 6th place man, the 6th place man, but 3rd. There's Andrew Dixon joining these two. Another white-faced cart, but certainly, in fact, I think he's in the same team again. There's 3 identically.
Yeah.
Right, I'm glad those it over. Apparently, I can no longer speak. There are 3 identically liveried carts.
They're X carts.
Thank you.
There's 4.
They've ceased to be.
There's 4.
There used to be a cart, now an X cart.
So these 3 teammates, Harry Hurst-Grover, Lewis Sumner and Andrew Dixon. Jim Kell, another X cart driver, joining the X cart party. They're in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th.
That's a song, isn't it? Let's have an X cart party.
He does adverts as well, everybody.
One for the kids.
Yeah. This is threatening, though, because Hurst-Grover, I mean, are you going to have a different attitude with your teammate?
No.
When it comes to passing?
No.
Certainly not at this level,
this
surely. There's no team orders.
It's just the only problem is if you do it wrong, you have to kind of try and avoid eye contact in the awning. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
A little break there by Harry Hurst-Grover. Just at the front, still 4/10. Tomileski to Smith and Horner completely dropped, but also he's completely dropped this bunch. And up the inside goes Dixon on Sumner.
So it's now Andrew Dixon's turn to have a go at teammate Harry Hurst-Grover. There's the move.
Set up well beforehand.
Quite straightforward. Didn't have to use all the track on the exit, did he?
No.
Because his teammate Lewis Sumner was there. They will show changing position. James Kell is catching, so it's going to be a 4-kart X battle very shortly. If not now, in fact, might as well call that 4 karts.
Oh, it's a 4X.
It's a 4X.
It's a 4X. That's the Australian lager.
Yes, it is. We are getting very, very quickly towards the final minute. As Tomaszewski.
He's not broken. He's not broken Addison Smith, but Addison Smith can't gain him. It's been 0.3 something for the last 4 laps I've been watching.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting a bit worried as to whether Addison Smith's just playing that waiting game for the final minute of this race.
There he is.
It's still 3/10 at the line. The 4-kart train of X-karts.
There's going to be a couple of back markers, I think, coming up as well. Yeah, they're 45 seconds ahead or so of a couple of the other drivers. So we're going to see Sam Green-Gomez and Lewis Holt get lapped as well. So there's a kind of a confusion of karts up ahead because they're not all racing as such. Some of them have been, had some problems or been just overwhelmed by the pace. Smith has got a bit closer. So with this lap and one more, let's see if we can move to our leaders.
Yeah, we're going to have to
lead
the
Smith and Tomaszewski.
Going to have to lead the X-card battle because that lead battle there
Looks
is
like
getting...
They're coming in and they've got traffic as well. There they are.
That's it there, just to the right. Just coming through.
That's it.
That's the one.
Oop. There
As
we
they
go.
come out of Chapman. And it's side by side. We joined that just in time, and that's Addison Smith, is it? That's
got through.
Ahead,
Smith has got through.
That was round the outside of Chapman, would you believe?
Yeah.
Just in time to see that lead change. And I thought, looking at the timing screens, Nick, I was thinking Addison Smith has been playing a waiting game. Is that the last lap board? It is indeed. Final lap for these drivers. And Addison Smith timed his move, I would say, almost to perfection.
I think we just picked up the beginning of it as he comes.
Just coming out of there. I think he went round the outside of Chapman.
And what he also did was he denied a tarmac to Tomaszewski. I think Tomaszewski's going to feel aggrieved, but I don't think the stewards are going to have any problem with that. I think Tomaszewski's going to have a little bit of a feeling about that because he wasn't given enough road, but I don't think that's going to get called.
I don't think he was alongside though. He may have had a lift though. That's the deciding factor.
Well, he was off the track. He did not have enough room to be on the track, but they were having a battle.
Here they go then. Checkered flag for the junior Rotax winner Addison Smith, who did it right at the very end, and it just shows how quick Tomaszewski was chasing him down, using all of the track and more. And there's the X-Kart battle settled as well. So Addison Smith takes the win. Kasper Tomaszewski takes second, third step of the podium to Ben Horner, and then the battle of the X-Karts. Harry Hurst-Grover in fourth, Andrew Dixon fifth, sixth is Lewis Sumner, James Kell seventh, Leon Barlow eighth, ST Racing's Charlie Very ninth, and it's Oliver Fabricus who rounds off the top 10. There's the rest of the competitors coming through to take their checkered flag. As